What's up guys, it's me, Emily G, back at you again with another commentary video. Wow, where to begin? I want to thank everybody so much for just all the love and support on my channel lately. It's really made me feel good. I go through every comment, so I really appreciate all the love and support and what you guys have to say and your feedback. Again, I am having a microphone come soon, so we're going to improve the audio quality. And if there's anything else in the meantime you think I can improve upon, definitely let me know, whether it's lighting, background, whatever you think. So we'll figure it out because I am so excited to grow this community and have a conversation and, really just get to chat about everything that interests me. I know that there are commentary drama channels out there that talk about everything, and I want to narrow it down a little bit just to kind of suit more of my interests and topics that I find just interesting or important. But I'm not here to talk about every single thing in the world. If you guys have something that you want me to look into, I'd be more than happy to, so let me know again. But before we get into this video, apologies for the wind in the background, pointing to my window back here. I don't know if you'll be able to see the curtains move at all, but it is quite windy outside. We're about to have that, dare I say, major snowstorm happen. And I believe that the charts are predicting 10 to, it said 18 inches. I think we're going to be more on the 10 and a half, 11, 12 kind of side of things here in Westchester. But parts of Pennsylvania are going to get up to 12, definitely higher. I used to be a weather reporter, part-time actually, because I'm cool like that. I know. It is pretty cool actually. I did weather on the radio station at Westchester for a while, and then I moved into like a local weather news station kind of thing. And it was really cool. I did that for just under a year, and I did the radio over a year. And I didn't actually go to school to do weather, oddly enough. I went to school for French and Italian, which are molto bene, but they don't interest me for a job. I don't know. And they never really did. I just feel like college, when you're trying to figure out college, you're probably in high school and well, of course, that makes more sense. But, to be in the beginning of high school, you're 16 barely, and they're like, hey, what do you want to do with the rest of your life? Quick. And it's like, oh my God, I don't know. I just want to go back to class and sleep, so I don't know. I'm just tired from school still to this day, but lock in because we have an online class coming Tuesday, and I'm worried about it Tuesday afternoon because, again, I can deal with the power going out, but I can't deal with the Wi-Fi going out. I don't know how that's going to work here. And I know, aside from the many inches of snow, we're expected to get a good amount of ice too, which is going to knock out power for a few days, is what they said. So I just finished all of my preps. I filled up a bunch of containers in the fridge with water, and we're storing it in there just in case a pipe were to burst or to freeze, which I know it sounds extreme, but for my building, this is an old building and it has had many a landlord job, and I do not trust these pipes to hold, especially when our adjacent building is always getting emails about hot water shutting off and pipe problems. And so I'm like, let's just have some water ready. I got the Costco packs of water too. We're good to go. We got groceries. It's just gonna be boring. And so if you're sitting at home and you're having this ice snowstorm, well, welcome to my channel. We are glad to have you here, and hopefully you have Wi-Fi so you can watch some videos, but be sure to check out my other videos. Should I do a snowstorm kind of vlog? I don't know. I don't know what a vlog would look like for me, because I could just sit here all day and talk, honestly. It's me. But I don't know. I hesitate because I feel like vlogs, you can't be in the same one space. You have to kind of move around or be in a different room. Or I don't mind standing up and walking around a little bit, but in the nicest way. I don't know you. I don't want you seeing my apartment. Some of you people did like, what do they call it? The geo searching or something? I could show you the paint on my wall and you'd be able to like figure out what city I live in, even though I already said Westchester. But it's scary. It's scary how people can find you just based off of like the shape of my walls. So I'm a little paranoid, but I always have been. So that's a me problem, not a you guys problem. But anyways, let us get into today's topic because I already fear this video is going to be too long. We have a lot to discuss and it's going to upset some people. And I want to put a disclaimer in that is, I'm not doing this to upset people. I want to talk about this because I think it really gets not only a conversation started, but specifically when I first saw this topic, I didn't have an opinion on it and I'm still kind of trying to formulate one. Like I think it goes deeper, like a values kind of thing. And I had never really thought about it before. And so I'm still trying to figure out my own mind, which is why I'm not going to go in super hard to this. Like I really don't want to talk too much about my personal beliefs because I'm still trying to figure that out. But then we'll get into what actually really, really bothers me. It's going to be a long one. So everybody lock in. Okay. Meghan Trainor, right? I know. It's like we're back in 2016. All the love, no shade. I used to be a big Meghan Trainor fan, actually. Not of her personally, but I feel like I'm never like a fan of anyone personally. I just like the music and that's all I kind of get into. Like I don't follow, it's not like I follow people around or like look them up or anything. Like, oh yeah, like a celebrity's pretty and I like their music. That's pretty much the extent of it for me. So when I was in high school, I like really liked Meghan Trainor. I like the, you know, I'm all about that bass, you know, all of her classics, shall we say. And so, I don't know, I don't really have an opinion on her. I know that some people really didn't like her when she started the Ozempic thing. And I just feel like I feel like it's unfair because everybody in Hollywood started doing that. And I understand the irony with the whole super mega body positivity and all about that base, and there was a marketable strategy about not being super skinny, and so I understand the flip where people are upset when she then got super skinny. It's not lost on me, honestly, but at the same time I am a little jealous, so I guess maybe that's where that upsetness comes from, and that's totally fair. But I don't like needles and I don't have money and I don't have time, and I'm not doing that. So good for her, right? But specifically recently, what I had seen online was that she has now gotten her third child, and congratulations for that, right? It's a healthy baby girl, and we love that, right? Healthy babies, very important, very important. I believe she already has 2 kids, right? And those 2 kids she had herself. Now this baby, her third child, she had a surrogate for. And the reason this is such a hot topic is because I think it was Meghan, either Meghan or her spouse or whoever, this photo came out, a very intimate private photo of Meghan, and I will put it on screen. I hesitated to put it on screen at first because I know the baby is in it, but in the same breath I feel like we can't talk about the photo without at least giving you a little visual. So I am going to blur the baby's eyes just because it makes me feel a little more comfortable. I get it. You know what this baby looks like, right? It's a baby. Babies kind of all look the same, to be honest. But for my sake, for me being comfortable, I'm just gonna blur the baby's face. So we see this photo here, right? And it's a very like emotional invoking photo, right? Meghan is crying, and rightfully so, as she should. Some people I saw in the comments were ripping her to shreds and saying, why is she crying? It was a surrogate. It's not like she just pushed the baby out. Girl, she's been waiting for this baby. Like, can we be honest here? What happened to being honest, okay? If you were waiting, 9 months for this child, and it's a big change, right? People have emotions. Bring back emotions. And so I don't fault her for the crying. I do understand why people had a little problem with the photo. And although I'm not going to say personally here my thing about the photo, because I really haven't figured out if I have a problem with the photo. I'm here and there, I'm a little torn. But people had a problem with the photo because she has the baby on, on her chest. She's crying. Meghan is clearly, naked, at least from the top up. And she's covered in the photo, but you can tell, right? Like we're unclothed here to an extent. The baby has still some bodily fluids like on its forehead, and you know, we're like, this is a newborn baby, fresh out the womb, 5 minutes, right? And so people were led to believe that Meghan had just pushed this baby out, right? This was Meghan's baby in the sense biologically she just gave birth. And then we found out that this baby is a surrogate baby, and someone else on the other side of the camera, wherever, is probably breathing heavy, contracting, bleeding, just gave birth, and the baby is now in Meghan's arms, right? And so I understand why some people are upset, and I think a lot of people are upset at the bigger picture of surrogacy as a whole, not at Meghan. This brought out a lot of conversation online about, should surrogacy, commercial surrogacy, be like a legal thing? Because from what we understand, it's not like a family member had carried this baby for her. It's someone that she had, you know, paid, hopefully handsomely, to, you know, have this procedure done and carry the baby all the way to term, get all the checkups, do everything that you need to do, right, to make sure you have a healthy baby. And once the baby's born, then it goes to Meghan, who had paid for this to be done, right, or the family who had paid for this to be done. There are different ways you can phrase this. Some people had called it, I can't say that word on YouTube. Some people had called it lots and lots of cars jammed up, and it starts with a T. Hopefully you understand what I'm saying. Human, lots of cars with a T. Some people had said, let's read some of the comments, shall we? Because I don't want it all to come from my mouth, because these are not necessarily my feelings. I'm still trying to make up my feelings on this. And sorry, not sorry, that's totally valid of me, by the way. I'm not getting defensive in this sense, but I'm just saying, y'all, me as a viewer too, I guess, like, sometimes I watch a video and I want to hear your opinion. So I'm sorry, I still sort of don't have an opinion on surrogacy as a whole. I'm still trying to figure it out. I can see where some people are coming from. And I think, honestly, the first time I ever really heard of the concept of surrogacy was when I was like in high school watching Friends, because I hate to spoil Friends. If you haven't seen it, you're too late. Phoebe ends up being a surrogate for Monica. And so that to me was like, oh my gosh, it's beautiful. Like, you know, they're so close. Like, she's going to do this because she wants to. This is, you know, someone she is going to know for the rest of her life. But commercial surrogacy, I had never really heard of before. I guess I assumed, because I'm a little naive there, I guess I just assumed that, why would you have a stranger do it? And then, well, obviously, like, money. You know, people like to get paid. So there's an argument to be made there, right? But I want to read some of the comments so you can hear what other people are saying. This is off of Pop Bass, mixed in kind of with Pop Crave, all of the weird pop, top, flop, crop, bop till you drop. I don't know, you know, like, sorry. Anyways, all right. So the Pop Bass post itself said, Meghan, that's for after this. I'm going out of order. I'm very disorganized. I'm just gonna use first names here. A girl named Rachel on Twitter says, I wish Meghan and the sweet baby well, but I will most certainly judge any rich woman who rents a poorer woman's womb to carry her child. I won't whisper about it. I will say that plainly. Commercial surrogacy is grossly unethical and frankly dystopian practice. And a frankly dystopian practice, sorry. It should not be legal, and it isn't in many Western nations. My mind won't be changed about this. Agne says, I might get flogged for this, but is having another child when you already have two that deep to the point where you have to rent out another woman's womb? Somebody says, via surrogate, then why the F is she posing like she's the one who gave birth? I also saw this argument, and I know that the big answer is skin to skin. The baby needs skin to skin with the mother. I had also heard a few people trying to debunk it, saying the skin is like a biological thing for whoever carried the baby, regardless of whoever will be caring for the baby. because something about hearing the exact sounds and tone of the body from which you came out. I don't know the answer to that, so I can't speak on that. But a lot of people are saying things on both sides, and we're very split down the middle about this. Someone else said, we don't allow puppies or kittens to be separated from their birth mothers until they're at least 8 weeks old. This commodification of newborn humans is striking by comparison. TLDR, I don't know what that means. Commodification, let's look this up. I'm gonna pull, who is it, Kai Cenat, who was Googling stuff up the other day? Commodification. The process of turning things, goods, services, idea, culture, even personal attributes, into commodities or items to be bought and sold in a market, often stripping them of their original meaning, social value, or use value to prioritize their exchange value. People are very upset about the commercialization of this, but I think had it been an argument I have to make on her behalf here is that had it been a family or friend, A, we wouldn't know it. It could be. And B, people would still be mad about it. You know, I don't know. I have so many thoughts. Somebody said, or Katie said, skin to skin here is doing nothing. The purpose is that so the baby can smell the one they've been inside for 9 months, hear the heartbeat she's heard for 9 months, and get the hormones flowing to the mother for milk production. This is performative and dystopian. Yeah, it's just, although the comments are split, there is one very loud side that's coming out from this, and it's the anti-commercial surrogacy. And the biggest problem I have, because again, my mind is not made up about this. It's like a personal thing I have to think about for a while, and I don't want to do that on YouTube, but I did want to talk about this so you guys can figure out and also make your minds up, because it's okay to not feel how we are right now, you know? It's okay to be a little conflicted, right? This is a new topic for a lot of people, I think. But the thing I have made my mind up about, let's get into it, because I'm gonna turn this topic, I'm gonna pause this a little bit. And I want to move into the next one, but there was a repost I wanted to make because Meghan did come out after hearing all the backlash, which again is just so sad because this should be like such a happy time and a private time for her and the family. But posting this photo has made people very upset, and there's noise, right? So Pop Bass posted after this photo, Meghan Trainor tells People magazine that surrogacy is not, quote, something to whisper about or judge, unquote, after welcoming baby girl via surrogate. She says, quote, it wasn't our first choice, but we had endless conversations with our doctors on this journey, and it was the safest way for us to be able to continue growing our family. We are forever grateful for that option. I want people to know that surrogacy is just another beautiful way to build a family. It's not something to whisper about or judge. It's rooted in trust, science, love, and teamwork. Every family's journey looks different, and all of them are extremely valid, unquote. Which, it's fine, you know, she's PR trained. It doesn't really do much for me, as someone, I guess, who is on neither side here. I'm on the side of healthy baby, happy family, do it in private, right? But it was interesting. I did see a lot of people say, you had your first 2 children, then you started Ozempic, and now you wanted to put this baby on another woman's body so you didn't have to carry the baby, which almost feels inherently a little misogynistic to me, if I'm being honest. I hate to take it to that place, but it just feels like oh my goodness, don't know what that was. Feels like something in my freezer just popped. It feels like women's bodies are ruined from pregnancy and you're afraid of it because you know your body, you know, like, I don't know. It leaves a bad taste in my mouth. But then there's a conversation also for adoption. I don't know. I have to wonder, why was adoption not a great option here? Some people really, really, really strongly believe they want their own genetics involved. And I think it's just something I'm never going to understand, because I guess I had always thought if I have a child, it'll be adoption. So I don't know. It's not something I'm horribly judging people for. I feel like as a society, we need to like take care of the orphan children and unadopted children. But personally, I understand why other people just aren't for it. Or rather, I don't, but I just don't care. Like, sure, do whatever you want. Because it doesn't affect me personally. So, what a wild concept. Anyways, so to get into our second topic here, which I want to piggyback off of this topic. The real issue that I feel like no one is talking about, because if you know there's one thing on this channel that I have done so far since the pun intended birth of all of these commentary videos, is that I will talk about topics that upset me that no one else is covering, because I would feel a little bit better if the people that I watched were talking about it. But I feel like, look, I'm like getting hot and sweaty. I feel like nobody is talking about it. And such an important topic here. Why was there a photo taken of a newborn baby? This baby probably didn't breathe for 5 minutes here outside the womb. And there's already a camera in her face. There is already a picture on the internet. The internet already knows her name. It's such a private moment that should have stayed private. Maybe I'm being dramatic, and let me know if you disagree with me. Keep it civil in the comments, but I understand we won't all have the same opinions. I just have such an issue with it because specifically, had this picture not been made public, this whole argument about surrogacy would not have happened around this baby and mother and family, right? And yeah, surrogacy would still be a hot button issue, and commercial surrogacy would still be a hot button topic. But every time, this baby is going to grow up now, and you know, as a celebrity's child, right? I'm sure she will, it's a she, I'm sure she will learn about, you know, Googling herself and looking herself up and ignore the press or look into the, I don't know, right? But the first news articles about this baby aren't healthy, happy baby born in. It's, should this baby alive? Should this, that? I'm like, oh my God. And he did it at my birthday dinner. I'm like, and I'm mad at Meghan specifically because yes, the internet, why are you guys doing that? Like, can't we just let this baby have its moment? That's not reasonable. We know how the internet is. And Meghan, you know as a celebrity how the internet is. It is your job as the mother to protect this child from everyone, including everyone online. And so the discourse, you knew there would be people upset. And you knew that when you took this photo, it did look a little bit like you had just pushed this child out, right? Even if that was not the intent, you as a celebrity and all the PR training have probably learned to look a little deeper into photos, right? Like when I post these videos here, there is nothing that anyone could hate on or say that I have not already thought about. And that's not me being all holier than thou. That's like, I hate most about all of these videos. I hate watching them back. I hate the way I look in them. I hate what I'm talking about. I ramble. I hate like the clicking mouth sounds I do. I hate how many times I say like and And so I get it, right? And the sound quality is terrible. Thank you. But with all of that going on, I feel like she should have had the wherewithal, or someone close to her whose job it was to protect this child. Why can't you say, hey, wait a minute, Meg, like we shouldn't, like maybe we should wait a second. Like let's enjoy this now. We'll post it later, right? It doesn't matter. Maybe they did. I'm sure that they did. I'm sure they didn't snap it and post it. I just think such a young child in a photo. Why are we doing that? Why are we doing that? Now there's all this angry discourse about this newborn who doesn't even understand the concept of the internet or the concept of surrogacy or any concept at all. I mean, it's 5 years old or 5 minutes old, right? They said the baby's name, which is Mikey Moon, 2 words, Mikey Moon, and she's a girl. And I hate the gender barriers as well with names, but I understand, right? For a girl, it's Mikey is not a girl's name typically in today's society. It has not normally been a girl's name. The Mikey Moon, right? People are saying it's an odd name. I think it's a unique name. Trying to be positive here. I wouldn't name my child that. maybe she'll choose to go by something when she's older, or maybe she'll love it. I don't know. Celebrities, they have some interesting names, right? I'm not gonna rank on the baby's name here because the baby can't talk. The baby can't do stuff yet, right? Like, I feel bad bullying a infant, you know what I mean? And so I don't understand why we had to make all this public, because if not the photo with the surrogacy, then you knew people would get upset about the name. Then you knew people would get upset about anything at all. I just don't understand why she couldn't have kept this moment private. That's about it. I don't know. I don't know why nobody in her family fought for this. Maybe they did. Maybe they just lost. I don't know. Those are my thoughts. Again, I'm not really set, you know, my personal beliefs in the surrogacy thing. I feel like I definitely lean a certain way, but I'm not ready to have that discussion yet myself about my opinion. But I do want to talk about it because I think it's an important topic, and, you know, I'm sure a lot of people out there also have not really thought too much about the concept of commercial surrogacy and things. And so it's an interesting topic to start thinking about. And once over, I think the topic of posting newborns. I mean, we remember a few months back in 2025, there was that, dare I say, god-awful woman on Twitch who gave birth live on stream. And of course you couldn't see her, but like, they were showing like where she was giving birth. They had the sounds and the volume. Like, it should never have been. That should have been an insta ban, IMO, right? Like, I get like, oh, education. This is not education. This is like, creepy people watch this, right? And there's a few curious people who are genuinely just there to be like, oh my God. There are a few people who scroll and it comes up for them. I get that. But the reason some of these are so popular is because it's so wild. Because why would you do that? I don't know. I have no idea. It's just, this is me. When I say I have no idea, it's just blank. That's me being so overwhelmed by what is going on. And I hope that Meghan learns maybe to not post her child. And I think that people everywhere online should not be posting children. I'm sorry. I don't think that's a hot take. And I think that if you're like, oh, it's fine to post babies, it's fine to post toddlers, family content, this is not the channel for you, because I can't be swayed. I can't agree with you. We can keep it civil. We can interact in the comments about other things, but I will not be swayed about that. I think it's so inappropriate, and there's so many reasons and examples out there for which we do not have the time today. But once again, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and if there's any topics you want me to cover, please reach out. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. It helps me out a lot, and I don't know, you can always change your mind if you're not feeling it. So, and it's free, and we love free things. So, I love free things. Yeah, be careful with the snow out there, you guys, and I will hopefully see you when I have Wi-Fi, and hopefully that's soon. So,